Your biggest problem with static IPv4 addressing is you. That's right, I said you. Making a mistake because of the manual configuration involved. So you have a client that is complaining that they do not have connectivity, or maybe you have multiple clients that are complaining about that. And you go to the end stations, you issue a ping to verify that their complaints are accurate, so there's no connectivity. What can you do next? Well, you'll probably verify the IP addressing on the client to make sure it is correct. So let's do that in our case. Let's go out here to PC1. PC1's complaining they can't access the internet. So we type in ping 192.168. Pardon me, that's not the internet, 192.0.2.1. All right, we can see it's not successful at all. So we'll go ahead and just cancel out of this. And what we'll do is we will now check the addressing on our client. So ipconfig, and we can see from this output that we have an IP address. It's 10.1.1.10. We have a subnet mask. We have a default gateway. So here's something to think about. If I successfully have all my addressing, and it's being handed out via DHCP, and the DHCP server is located where? In VLAN 100. It means I have connectivity from my PC all the way up to the default gateway to that DHCP server. So it means that the issue is probably from where? From an area outside of the local area network. So we can shift our attention now over to who? We can shift our attention over to our default gateway. And now we can issue a ping there, 192.0.2.1. Whoa, that's successful. So the default gateway can get all the way to the internet, but our client can't. But our client can get to the default gateway, but can they? Let's go back to PC1. And on PC1, remember what the default gateway address is? It's 10.1.1.1. So let's go ahead and type in ping 10.1.1.1. Ooh. Okay, wait a second here. We have the ability to get our IP addressing information from that DHCP server, which is in a completely different subnet. Yet, we can't reach the default gateway? This, to me, seems like we have an addressing problem, either locally or on the default gateway. So what are we going to do? We're going to examine our documentation, and our documentation says PC1 should have an address assigned via DHCP. It should be with a subnet mask of /26 within that 10.1.1.0/26 network. And the default gateway should be 10.1.1.1. So that's what our documentation says. We go to PC1, and we see that, yeah, they do have an address within that subnet, within VLAN 10, and they have the right default gateway. So now we can shift our attention over to who? DSW1. Let's verify DSW1's addressing. So we jump over to DSW1, and the interface is interface VLAN 10, so show IP interface brief. Oh, I think I just saw the problem. You see that? Let's show you another command. Let's go with show IP interface brief VLAN 10. There we go. I see the problem. 10.1.1.11. Somebody typed the address incorrectly when they entered it statically for interface VLAN 10. They hit the one key twice. That's all that happened. If we look at the output of show IP interface VLAN 10, we'll see that it does have the correct subnet mask. So we need to fix this problem. And how can we fix this particular problem? We can go to the interface, and we can type in IP address, and then the correct IP address and mask. We don't have to remove the old IP address because it will automatically be overwritten by this new IPv4 address, because we can only have one IPv4 address on our router interface. So go global configuration mode interface VLAN 10 IP address 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.192, and then if you look at the output of show IP interface brief for VLAN 10 has the correct address now. If we go back to our PC and we issue our ping command again, we'll ping our default gateway first. If I can find that command, there we go. And we have a successful reply from the default gateway, but the client's complaint was that they could not access the internet. Can they access the internet now? Yes. So in this case, our issue was directly related to an inappropriate address statically configured on that default gateway.